Welcome to the Trade Year Rundown. I am Jim Iuorio. That's Bobby Iaccino. Together, we are the hosts of Trade Year's The Trader's Edge, which comes at you live at 4 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. This week, and I don't know when you're seeing this, but we're on October 1st, we're recording with Brian Westbury, who I think is the single top economist in the world. Also join Bobby and I at unfilteredinvestor.com, where we take some of these things we talk about on the Trade Year platform and break them down in a more granular fashion. Bobby, how are you?
Good. How you doing, bud?
Well, good. You know, your hair. Okay, so my hair all of a sudden, like it's going, like it's receding in one place. Do you think I should just take it down to the studs like you did? Or what are you supposed to do when your hair starts to go?
So when your hair starts to thin, you're supposed to get it down to the shortest that you're comfortable with, because the longer your hair is, the more the thinning shows.
Yeah.
So this is an optical illusion. I have no hair at all.
Yeah. Okay, do you just use like
powder on here?
Black spray paint or something?
That's spray paint. Black electrical tape.
And last question about hair. We are going to get to something that's serious and something that I really want to rant about. Is that really the color of your beard, or do you use just for men to make it black?
No, this is really the color of my beard. You could see it graying up here, but
I did see that.
It stays dark.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's talk to something that's meaty. And I'm actually honestly kind of pissed about this whole corporatist wave that's going on. First it was Intel. Then it was some of the rare earth miners. Now it's lithium. There is some talk, some rumble that it could be crude oil as well, with the government taking ExxonMobil. And the reality is this, is back in World War II, yes, the U.S. government took over stakes in some aluminum plants, some rubber plants. I think they felt they had to. There was a world war going on. But again, I can't remember who said it, but if you give the government powers in extreme crisis situation, expect to always live in extreme crisis situation. So my question to you is, what are the investment theses that come out of this? Are we supposed to be buying Exxon thinking that's what's going to be next, or is that just speculation?
No, I think we would buy Exxon as the speculation becomes more factual. I think you don't buy the speculative pop. Honestly, I didn't look at a chart. I don't even know if a speculative pop is happening. But it's interesting because a lot of people are calling this socialism, and I don't really think it's socialism.
How is it not?
I'm against it.
Yeah.
It's surgical nationalism. That's what it is, because they're trying. Listen, I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just saying they're not nationalizing every business out there that they could make money off of, right? They're trying to nationalize key industries because China's got their fangs in. A lot of these other countries, some might say Israel, I'm not saying that, have got their fangs in all kinds of things. But I don't think the US government is without fangs. So that's what bothers me about it. So I'm just not really sure. So I think farms are going to be next. Right.
Yeah, I do too.
They're nationalizing farmland to stop China and Bill Gates from buying any more of it. Yeah. I mean, we're starting to get beef shortages. The price of beef is going through the roof, and it's not because Trump brought inflation. It's because more people are understanding that the whole foods diet is the way to live longer. They're starting to buy more, and the independent farmers are struggling. I was talking to Sean Baker the other day, who was down here where I live, and he said he talked to one local farmer who he mentioned on his podcast. The guy got about $30,000 of orders. And he said if he wouldn't have gotten that, he would have closed. That $30,000 was the difference between him staying open and staying closed. So there's like a soft spot in my heart for what's going on. But the minute that the government owns a company, 2028, it's going to be somebody different. We don't know who it's going to be or what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, and that's a big problem. And again, I'm against it with every fiber. I will say this again, too. And again, we're going to get to the investment implications, too, is that I'm against it. I believe that the other side, I voted for this administration because I thought there would be less of this kind of stuff. So I am somewhat disappointed. I still believe that the other side would have done it more. They would have done it with impunity. They wouldn't have thought twice about it. And at least this administration, I think deep down, they know they're doing something that their voter base didn't really like, but they genuinely do feel it's important, because China is growing more and more as an adversary, and it could come into being a big deal. So do you then look at things like rare earths and ways to parlay that into investment success? Because, by the way, I will mention that in the past, if a government was too much involved with a business, it used to hurt its stock price and be a bad thing. For some odd reason, when the Trump blesses one of these companies like Intel, which is undoubtedly a crap company, I'm sorry if you Intel people are watching, but there's a reason your stock price was floundering for I never know if it's floundering or foundering, for 5 years before it actually took off. And that's because Donald Trump jumped in to save you. What do you think?
This doesn't do anything for me on an investment thesis basis. Like, for example, we sent out 2 alerts midday today for the subscribers, the Unfiltered Investor, and they were Aon Incorporated and Broadcom. Those are the 2 we sent out. Had
Okay.
nothing to do with anything that was going on. If you look at Lithium Americas Corp, spiked and is now falling from its highs. ExxonMobil is down 4 consecutive sessions. So I just don't think there's an investment thesis based off of what you call socialism, what I call surgical nationalism. I'm probably wrong. You're probably right as it goes in that direction. But I don't think there's a thesis behind it because the government doesn't do anything right. So why would they do this? I don't care who's in charge.
Who dropped the mic on that one? This is Tradiers Rundown. I'm Jim Iuorio. That's Bobby Iaccino. Please join us on Tradiers, The Trader's Edge, 4 p.m. live on Wednesdays, and join us at unfilteredinvestor.com. We'll see you soon.